Hi everybody, welcome back to my Dungeon Boss campaign series. Today we are taking a look at Chapter 12. Chapter 12 has a recommended level of 32. I am currently level 33, so that should accommodate the mid-level or mid-chapter transition into a higher level. And as far as teams go, since the last time we've been running, I have not updated my team. I'm getting close to 2700, so I'll be very close to another times 10 summon once I get an appropriate hero feature coming up. So we're going to run the same basic team that we had been running with Grognog and Kira as the primary damage dealers. We're just dealing with a few casters here and one of those sumo guys, nothing overly complex. I don't think there's going to be anything in these stages here that are going to trip us up. I do have pretty decent runes. As far as low-level runes are concerned, but so we'll keep with the same basic team here: 2 damage dealers, taunter, and a healer. And then as far as potions go, I'll just stick with the standard one of each. I don't anticipate using any of them, but we'll see how that actually goes with the bosses. So this is the first chapter here. We have a 5-room dungeon, which means we can use our skills early just to test things out. And I guess when we get these Alexander guys, it's probably best if we just try and take them out quick. The Alexander guys are part of a event. By the time you see this, that event will be over, so don't assume that those guys are the norm. Like always, once I get the taunt up, then it just gives me a few turns of auto-attacking. No need to waste the rest of my skills at this point. So I'm really looking for basically to get through this particular room without taking too much damage. Usually Yasmin's passive heal can do pretty well against a single target taking damage. So that should be enough to keep William alive. The only downside is I'm going to lose my taunt for the next room. But at the very least, I get to do the hidden dungeon, so I'll get 5 more tokens for Malice. Alright, try and kill a caster first since he's more likely to have an AoE attack. That's usually my MO as far as attacking. Kill the guys that are biggest threats first, which just is not any samurai. I've never met a samurai that I was afraid of, having spent too many hours using Samurai Takume. So until samurais get a major buff, I'm just not going to be afraid of them. So it's actually a 4-room dungeon. We just have a treasure room in here. Maybe get some Lupina tokens, which we just got gold and probably not very much of it, a couple thousand. Alright, so the room before the boss, usually what we do is we like to go into the boss room with our taunt up. So depending on how fast or slow these guys die, I'm not going to be able to get another turn in probably, so I'm going to have to taunt with William on this one. And then with the taunt up in the boss room, that'll allow me to use Guardian Strike on the first turn. Hopefully that daze goes away, but otherwise I'll end up cleansing it with Yasmin. And actually, he doesn't even need to hit for Guardian Strike. I'll still get the buff either way, so it's not a huge issue. The main thing is that we're not able to lose anyone critical like Kira or Yasmin on this opening attack. He is a green caster, so he's got advantage over my blue guys. But I think between Kira and Grognog, I can probably take him down. He actually soaked that pretty well. Will negate his crit. That should at least save my guys a little bit. So it's going to take a few turns to whittle him down, I think. He must have either high defense or he's just a boss. Boosted damage versus nature, not a problem there. And he's reduced speed, and then that's just from Grognog. So ultimately, he's not really anything. We'll auto-attack until we wear out my taunt here. Yasmin's passive is going to heal the lowest person, so I'm not going to waste my major heal just yet. save that for when it's more important. Okay. So this was the only time that may have been a good idea to use it, depending on what he would have actually done. And down he goes. So overall, not anything too difficult. This would have been a good dungeon for pretty much any team for the most part. There's not really anything that was going to be problematic here. I would say normally for that boss to bring Zerk, but running Zerk on a primary red stage probably isn't that smart. Alright, next up, let's take a look at the next dungeon and also check out the forecast for Chapter 12 here. So this is 2, 4, 6 total, so we're going to do 3 on this first one. So, Secret Passage. We're dealing with Beast. That's actually good for William because he's got Beast Hunter, and that's really it. Just another one of those Alexander dudes, but shouldn't be anything that we can't handle here. Although they do have a barrage of 4 fast, I'm going to try and take them out right away. My only concern is that if I miss any of them or only attack one, the other 3 are all going to gang up on Kira, and I'll have to waste a revive potion. My only revive potion, actually. I only bring 1. Okay, so we're actually going to use this skill here because I don't want to be fighting multiple fronts. So try and kill those beasties, and then we can just focus on the Alex. And then we'll go back to our auto attack for a few turns. Again, it's going to be the same thing as the last one, where basically we're going to be ending up beating him, but we'll probably leave the dungeon with our taunt going down. So I'd like to have the taunt and the pumped up still up heading into the next room, so if there's any of those flying bats, they get retaliated against. And taunt is down, but retaliation is still up, and now that's gone too. So it's kind of par for the course when you run into a tougher enemy. Pretty much all those buffs wear out. But maybe there's no bats on this one. We have a beast, probably Button's cousin. Rabbit Manhunter. Rabbit Manhunter. I like Buttons better, but I guess it is what it is. And skill's not up. I don't think he's going to one-shot each one of these guys. He does a little bit on both. That's kind of stupid. Kind of wish he would have just focused. It'd be nice if you could actually target both of those rather than random. Use the Guardian Strike just to prevent anything horrible from happening. A little bit extra defense. I didn't think I needed to taunt. Taunting probably would have been safer, but I want to use Beast Hunter. That was a pretty easy one. That was probably easier than the last dungeon. So as far as difficulty progression goes, I mean, you change colors and stuff like that. It's hard to say if one dungeon's going to be tougher than the next, particularly relating to your hero roster as well. So always keep that in mind. I know not everyone's going to have Grognog or even Kira at this point, so... Past the Wall I know has a bunch of light enemies because I had been farming this one for this event to kill 100 light enemies. We have casters and we have armored again, so this is similar to the first dungeon we did. The only difference is the caster at the end is yellow instead of green. So elementally we're not disadvantaged, so Grognog and William can even put some extra damage on them. It's like a 6-room dungeon unless one of these is a treasure room, so we'll do our standard MO, use our skill early, get some quick kills and get pushed in the right direction, and then we will well, we're not going to taunt on this turn. I guess I was going to taunt, but honestly I don't know how beneficial the taunt's going to be if we just have a room of casters, because they're going to start throwing out AoEs anyways. The AoE probably would have been better on this room here. I don't want to deal with tons of shock damage. I don't think that they're going to do a lot of damage, but I don't want all of them doing that, and that shock really starts to resonate. If you if all your guys get shocked and then they do another AoE shock, it compounds pretty badly. So now we're going to be back on pace with a normal stage here. We'll kill a couple guys here, or at least damage some, and then we'll just taunt and call it good. So as long as they don't do any type of nasty rampage type attacks, shouldn't really be an issue. And honestly, I think they're weak enough. I think they're only like 1 star. They're 2 stars. But they really don't have anything as far as buffs go, so nothing to be concerned with. We're just going to let the auto run its course here. Most of my skills are on cooldown anyways, so waiting for that taunt. And if the taunt is still up, I'll take it. And honestly, if Grognog's going to one-shot those guys, I'm not going to complain. Alright, so we've run enough basic attacks where skills should be up for the boss room now, which is my general preference. I don't think he's going to have any buffs that would be a problem. Certainly nothing that I can really deal with anyways. Just an extra crit chance. So realistically that could be problematic, but I'll throw a taunt up to save either Yasmin or Kira. Oh, I thought for sure this would be up. I'm not going to waste my potion on it. I just don't think it's necessary. Remember, I like to try and beat these without potions and without friend heroes. Alright, so that did nothing. He's got really no chance. I'll use my strike ability with Grognog, and then we'll just auto it till the end, and that'll be it for this dungeon. Yeah, he's got like 2 hits left. Alright, he's dead. Another perfect 3-star. So, don't know if it's the runes or if it's the stage or just the heroes, but overall nothing to really concern with. We're getting really close to level 35. Once we get to 35, then we'll start looking into challenge mode, see if we can actually beat some of those. That being said, though, that's going to wrap up the first half of Chapter 12. We will have the second half in just a bit. We'll check out these last 3 and get to this final boss dungeon. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.